Hello there. I feel like some cold. Finland in World War II is one of those really weird little sideline countries that no one really thinks about. They got invaded by the Soviets, but didn't get destroyed. They weren't in the Axis, but they fought in Barbarossa. What were they? Well, they were cool. So I want to recreate the Finnish position completely in HOI4, down to their historically accurate division design and even political choices, in an attempt to not only win against the Soviets, but the world. For more agonizing challenges and historical videos, like the video and subscribe. Also, a new video is going out on my second channel, link in the description and comments. Alright, here we are, Finland. Finland is in a terrible position in 1936. We've recently had a civil war. We've got this guy as our president. God, that's a beautiful mustache. And there's a giant Soviet bear that will want to eat us in 3.5 years. So we need to prepare for a full defense of Karjala and the northern hinterlands. We need to think about building up our divisions, and basically we just need to somehow survive. But more importantly, we need to do it historically, because of course this is historical divisions only. The starting infantry templates are not at all accurate to what the historical Finland actually had, so we'll be making that later on, with the first one being made in 1939. In the meantime, we have to try and figure out the focus tree. Paradox does give us a historical option to let us see which ones are correct, so Finnish neutrality is the historical path. It weirdly skips some of the ones that you surely have to click, and there's lots of really nice eco focuses, but the most important ones are over here. The Mannerheim line, tons of forts, division defense, oh baby. Loads of army bonuses once there's enough world tension. Just, oh, there's so much stuff the Finnish army can get, including bicycle infantry. Oh my god. To start with, we're just going to start the political branch and continue to try to set our country up for success. We will grab a couple civies. We don't really have much production to speak of. We're always going to be very weak. We're just going to do our very best and attempt to build up some kind of economy. Wow, we literally start with 3 mills. What is this? The other thing, of course, is our manpower. That's going to be a big problem. This may actually be the hardest historical divisions video I've yet done, because Finland, while it does get tons of bonuses, is really weak, and the Soviets can actually be quite strong. So let's see what we can do. As ever with historical divisions videos, the very first PP we get goes straight to a chief of army. Except this time as Finland, we can't, because we really want to hire Carl G. Mannerheim, the badass Chad that he is, because he gives way more army experience gains. So we're going to wait for political unity to finish before we can get that. Plus 15% div defense. I really want to hire Elias Simojoki as my advisor because he gives me weekly manpower. I'm not going to do it because historically, while he was important in the right-wing movement of Finland, he was gunned down during the Winter War while trying to euthanize a horse. The Soviets shot him. I just wanted to talk about that as a little bit of unique Finnish history. I wish I could hire him, but unfortunately, he died trying to kill a horse. When you're a very small country with very little power, small things make a big difference. That's fun. Braun gives me political power gain, but also daily support for unaligned. And while that is pretty good on its own, it's also very cheap, making the political power gain really good. The daily support for unaligned is really important because if you have more than like 9% fascist or communist support, you get a reduction in public trust, which reduces your combat abilities. So I'm going to pick him just simply for the combat bonuses that I'll get eventually. And now just to rush the limited amount of economic bonuses we can get. Oh boy, 70-day focuses. Seriously, just going through more at the focus tree. What are some of these bonuses? HOI4. I'm sorry, I'm doing my best, okay. You get all infantry and motorized mechanized, 25% heart attack and 100% piercing. I'm sorry? I'm going to be able to pierce light tanks. This is crazy. Now it's time to kick out Zuhonhain and replace him with Kiosto Kallio, an anti-communist backed by political coalition. Because this is what happened. We go from pointy mustache to downward pointy mustache. Fun fact about this guy, he is both the first Finnish president to resign his office and the only one to die in office, because after submitting his resignation, he died of a heart attack that same day. I'm sorry, that's just kind of funny. Oh, I haven't even looked at the Sisu bonus. Look at that. Attrition, div recovery rate, and 15% attack and 20% defense on core territory. And I can improve it as well. This is fantastic. You can even get tons of free resources through the focus tree as well. I haven't played Finland in years, and it's surprisingly good. There's a lot of good bonuses here, even though I have no manpower. You can get a surprising amount of resources just through the focuses. Look at that. 2 steel in every state already making steel. So that's 5 states, so 10 more steel. Let's go. We can arm the Lotta Zvad. I'm not sure if you can see with the icon. It's 2 women holding 9 mills. But yes, it's the Women's Voluntary Auxiliary Paramilitary Organization, and they replaced men lost in combat and helped out in the war effort. So it gives us a bit of a recruitable population, but most importantly, 10 org and 5 HP for all support companies. I need to start playing Finland for my X-only videos, because my god, that would help out a lot. Hey, you, there's a new video on my second channel, Aldrahill, that's out right now. You should subscribe and click the link in the description or pinned comment below to watch it. I'm trying to get monetized so I can fix my broken headphones. I also just picked up Interwar Tank, not because I'm going to be making my own tanks, but because I do need to make a crappy tank division, which is really more like a tank brigade, because there were about 200 to 300 tanks in the Finnish army in 1941, made up entirely of old, crappy British French tanks, so I will make that later on. I like it when the focuses have specific references to historical events. The extra refresher exercises is basically bringing the Finnish reservists and giving them yearly training. And this is surprisingly good bonuses, including 10% recruitable pop factor. I need that because I have no manpower. Okay, I'm sorry. What is this? 30% equipment capture ratio and conversion speed? These bonuses are incredible. You get improved tanks and mechs? What is this? It is now January 1939, which means we can make our very first historical divisions. We have unlocked a penal battalion as well, and that is interesting. But the Winter War Infantry Division organization is an extremely simple one. It has 9 regular infantry battalions, divisional engineer and signal company support, and it has 1 artillery regiment, which contains 36 pieces of artillery. Luckily, base HOI makes that 36, so it's very simple. The only thing that separates it from a regular World War II infantry division is that it also has a light infantry battalion. This is a bit weird, and going into it, it's actually technically a mix of cavalry and bicycle infantry, which is super strange, but I have actually unlocked the bicycle battalion, so I will add that in. It is actually equal parts bicycle and cavalry, and it gets more bicycles as the war goes on. But there we go. That is the very simple infantry division. It is pretty massive, and it's going to cost me a lot of equipment. You will note a complete lack of anti-air or anti-tank support. It's not great. It's not great. They get a little bit better later on, but it's fine. We now need 70,000 manpower to bring that back up to full, and deficit-wise, we are weirdly okay. That didn't actually cost us too much. Oh, it's because I've only got 15 of my divisions actually as them. Okay. We've got a reduced strength guard battalion. I did actually find a source for fortress infantry units in 1941, which is just a series of battalions, about 4 or 5 battalions of infantry. So I'm going to replicate that here by just adding in 4 infantry battalions with engineer companies. Though it is not represented here on this image, it was part of the army corps that this image comes from. So it is fair to say that these would become part of the garrison divisions themselves. These were meant to defend fortress areas and also coastal batteries and ports. Finally, there is the cavalry division or cavalry brigade, and there was only one, and it was made up of the 2 rather famous cavalry regiments, which was kind of an historical anachronism, the Heme and the Usiana Dragoons, and they were very, very small. They were a mix of cavalry and bicycle infantry, so this is actually pretty accurate, but it actually did have 1 bicycle battalion as well, and cavalry recon is pretty significant. It also had like 4 pieces of artillery and 6 of anti-tank. I can't really represent that. At best, I can add a support artillery to try to replicate that, but it's a bit tricky. But there we go. That's the cavalry division. Oh, there's only one of them, so woohoo! And here we have the Mannerheim line. This gives a really large number of forts, including railways all over the place. Lots of defensive bonuses. Ooh, and there it is. Justification against us. They are getting ready for the Winter War. We are getting prepared. I was thinking this would happen a little bit earlier. We're going to try to rush multi-tactics and winter warfare. We're going to need that really quickly. But right now, this is our defenses. We've got a decent amount of forts all up in here. I'm trying to fight everything I can along the forest tiles, but it is going to be tricky. I'm trying to train up as much as I can, but I'm only going to have 2 divisions on this tile, which is not ideal. We've also just unlocked the Winter Logistics Company, which if you look at the little icon, is a snowflake and skis, which is just fantastic. And it gives a bunch of defense, but mainly a ton of cold acclimatization gain factor and 25% attack and defense and 30% movement in snow. So we're going to become very, very strong. Now, it's worth noting that I cannot find any evidence for this existing in the historical divisions outlines. That's because this is an abstract representative of doctrinal changes for the Finnish during the Winter War, in that they equipped their troops with skis and tried to make them mobile. well. And that was part of adapting multi-tactics or pocket tactics, wherein you would entice soldiers into small areas in between trees or in between hills, draw them in, and then enfilade them and surround them, making tiny pockets and killing them by using skis to move around them. So that's what that represents. And I'm okay with adding it, even though I can't find specific reference to it. And it goes Warsaw, Germany absolutely destroying Poland in good time. And in perfect timing, the Soviets have demanded Karyala. Soviets did this because they wanted to provide a security buffer for Leningrad, but in actuality, documents showed that they planned to take a much larger degree of territory in Finland, possibly annexing it entirely, because remember, Finland used to belong to the Tsarist Roman Empire. We are obviously going to reject their demands and tell them to bugger off. Let's go. We have absolutely tons of equipment saved up, which is fantastic, and we should have access, yes we do, to the multi-tactics. Oh, fantastic. So there's the Winter War. Cut them to pieces. This actually gives us 3% recruitable population, 85% mobilization speed, and 10% division defense, giving us tons of bonuses. We also can push the Soviets back and occupy Leningrad to get peace, which is amazing. And if we take Murmansk, Onega, and Olets, we can also take them. But we're going to be doing this pretty historically. And here's the war. They've already started attacking us. We do have 1,000 defense, which is very nice. But I'm a little concerned, I'm not going to lie. They've already started to hit the Mannerheim line, but it's very, very hard for them to try to penetrate this because of the massive fort levels and the high defense of our divisions. I'm a little concerned, though, that there's only 2 divisions here. Oh god, a tank division is invading us as well. What the hell? Get out of here. Funnily enough, I'm actually able to beat them back with just an infantry division. We do have the piercing bonus. Not quite enough, I'm afraid, but still doing a decent amount of damage, and we've actually just pushed them back. What? You what? Oh, cool. Unique events. The dancing ban. This is plainly stupid. And looking it up, yeah, Finland banned dancing in December until 1944. But dancing in restaurants, however, continued to be banned until 1948. Okay, that's weird. And evacuation of children. Yeah, that one's not so surprising. Oh, my infantry can actually pierce the Soviet tank divisions. That's fantastic. I feel really strong right now. We're struggling in the north, definitely, but we've got multi-tactics. I just feel really powerful. I just love all the little events you get. Our snipers are proving effective. Hand out more arms to the hunter. Our snipers will become more deadly. They have actually taken quite a lot of casualties, 50k to my 21. We've lost a couple territories. I've been throwing out a few other divisions, but we're getting pushed pretty heavily in the north. Good, Sweden. Send some manpower. Thank you very much. I don't need your guns, though. I have 50,000. Oh, Hungarian guns. Okay. We have Simo Haya, the magic shooter. This guy was very interesting. He is supposedly credited with 500 enemy casualties, which is the highest number of sniper kills in any major war. Thus, he is the deadliest sniper in history. Kind of crazy. And he lived until 2002, by the way. I'd really prefer to get the We Are the White Death bonus, which gives me extra defense. But in real life, Finland propagated the heroes of the modern Finnish hero, so let's do that one. The malice is the Soviets get 20% attrition and 25% winter attrition. Okay. It's now February 1940. The war actually ends in about a month. I assume I'm going to have to pull back to trigger that. I don't really want to try to beat the Soviets for this. I do want to fight the continuation war. To be honest, I think they're going to push me out anyway because I cannot protect the north. I am going to have to fall back. So they should be able to take Karyala. But this is pretty accurate so far. The casualties are pretty accurate. They've not really taken as much territory as they planned. This is surprisingly historical. Oh, an amphibious invasions west of Helsinki. Uh-oh. Yep, I think it's time to pull back. That's okay. Off we go from Viipuri. Mostly because they have started to attack Helsinki. Oh man, that was a fast fall of France. Okay. German AI going hard. We've lost quite a lot of territory now. The Soviet amphibious invasion was pretty harsh. I'm not sure why I'm not getting the event to surrender. I'd really like to surrender now, please. Small detail that doesn't really get talked about much is that technically there was a second Finland in this war. With the capture of the majority of Karyala, the Soviets established a puppet government, the Democratic People's Republic of Finland. I can't remember its exact name. And it was supposed to become the new Finland, but no one cared about it and everyone just kind of pretended it wasn't real. And then it just sort of faded from existence. Oh, there it is. Thank God. We can just surrender and they can have Karyala and Sala. Enjoy. Ah, thank goodness. So now we can spend the next year preparing ourselves, rebuilding our economy and our military, just trying to be cool and survive in preparation for the continuation war. I'm gonna take that Leningrad. We just completed long-range patrols, which gives another unique support company. These LRPCs are similar to the British long-range patrol, basically penetration groups, small groups of soldiers who can penetrate slightly into the enemy's lines and attack them from the rear and do cool stuff. These are really, really cool in-game. Look at the terrain bonuses, my god. Plus you gain initiative. And again, there's not specific references to them being added to divisions, but they were part of doctrine for the Finnish army, so we'll be adding them now. You know what? I have so many guns. Let's just give like 15,000 of them to Germany. Why not? Here you go, bud. Just for you. We're also going to resign Kisto Kallio. He resigned because he just wanted to. This gives us Risto Riti. There we go. Risto Riti is next in line. And his mustache is a lot more sensible. And we have more daily support for unaligned 0.05, which we desperately need because we need to get to 85 to be able to do Lone Wolf and actually join Germany, which is kind of crazy. Oh, it's okay. If you just do Entice the Masses, you get 10% flat, so that's fine. I'll just do that now. With cooperation with Germany, we get a surprisingly large amount of basic light tank and small airframe, as well as just general equipment from Germany, which is pretty nice. We're going to use that to make our extremely crappy armored brigade. It grew pretty significantly a little bit later in the war, but it was basically like 120 light tanks and a bit of motorized and cavalry. Like, it's genuinely just this, seriously. And yes, we will join the continuation war. No problem, buddy. It is now January 1941, so we're doing our final preparations for the continuation war, which means we need to create our final infantry division template. Looking at its little image, it's actually pretty similar to the original 1939 one, but it has some fundamental changes. First of all, it has anti-tank guns. Only 6 in here, but also 6 per regiment, which is a total of 24, which is actually exactly how much you get in a support anti-tank, so we can go ahead and add that. The other change that I would probably want to make is I would like to add extra artillery to this, support artillery, as well as the line artillery we have, because there were more pieces of 122mm howitzers, and also there were a lot more heavy mortars per regiment, company, and battalion in the infantry, but I can't do that because I don't have enough slots, because Paradox still limits me to 5 support slots. Why, Paradox? Let me have 10, but give me penalties for having more than 5. Maybe you lose even more org per extra 1? Question mark? That'd be pretty good. So actually, this is going to stay exactly the same. I've just added support anti-tank. And a bicycle battalion now makes a lot more sense because the light battalion now has 3 times as many bicycle companies as it does cavalry companies, so it makes sense. And there we go. This is the infantry. Yeah, this is what we're fighting with. This is pretty much it. And we do still have our lovely little weird tank division. It's pretty useless, I'm not going to lie. Also, our infantry division is not going to be named this confusing, unable to be pronounced name. It's going to be named Lebrok Dakuta, after a recent Field Marshal YouTube member. Thanks, buddy. And there's the Finnish continuation war. We get to join Germany in their struggle against the communists. Now, the position of Finland at the start of the continuation war was surprisingly okay. Their army hadn't grown too much since the Winter War, but they had established new positions. And to represent that, I have built a new limited fort line just along the Soviet border. Initial offensives were apparently very, very strong, but then they settled in around here and didn't really do much until 1944. But let's see if we could maybe be a bit better. After all, we have so much equipment, I might as well keep giving guns to Germany. I'm going to try for a general push and see if I can at least make some kind of gains. There's actually empty territory all along the front. What? Russia is asleep. Okay. Also, immediately go into service by requirement because I'm so low on manpower. It's killing me. I'm just going to see if I can just completely cut them off. That would be absolutely incredible if I can push all the way to the river. When you're playing the Soviets, you tend to defend on Leningrad and these 2 tiles, fall back to this river here and this river here, and just try to hold the Finns there. I don't think the AI is going to be smart enough for that. Oh, cool. We actually do have 2 options. We can request an armistice with Moscow if we start to get wrecked. That's quite funny. And we can offer to switch sides in return for peace. Again, if we are kind of wrecked, and the Soviets have done the rush for Berlin. I assume that represents the 1944 ceasefire. We'll see. We'll see. Let's also get an attaché with Germany, just because I want to be able to see how they're doing and what the German AI has constructed. They've got a pretty decent infantry force. Their tanks are, they're not great. That's all light tanks. Okay. Oh, God. I'm sorry, are there no mediums here? Okay, here we go. A Panzer division. Actual medium divisions. Thank you. They seem to have literally 1, though. Oh, I hadn't even been paying attention to Africa. Oh, completely encircled, Rommel. No. And we've managed to encircle the forces at Viipuri. Very nice. Okay. Yes, good AI. Walk out of the port. Freaking genius. 1 month in, the Germans have done a pretty historical push. A small encirclement over here, broke past the mountains, and are already up to Riga. Some very nice encirclements in the north. If I could actually close them, that'd be great. And again, this is pretty much historically what happened. These pits were all taken, the rivers were pushed, but Leningrad is proving difficult. Oh god, please don't abandon the line. Hey, I beg you, please stay here. The biggest issue is manpower shortages. We just don't really have enough divisions to hold the line, so I'm trying to shrink this a bit. Oh my god, Greece has invaded Sardinia and taken it. Italy is already failing. I think I've been working towards the whole time. Sicily, a light infantry Sicily troops, invaluable assets with long-range patrols and ambushes, giving us initiative and recon bonus when entrenched and long-range patrol attack. This is pretty good because essentially just improves the stats of this support company by a significant amount, making our attack a lot better. Oh, bugger off, Soviet invasions. There goes Trotsky, and winter is beginning to set in, and look at these surprisingly historical borders. The Germans have been rushing towards Leningrad, trying to help me out with the siege. Very kind of them. They're pushing and taking Smolensk. They have Moscow in their sights, but they're struggling around Stalino and Zaporozhye. Wow, so historical. And a really nice encirclement. I'm trying to get this supply hub, but the thing is I just have no supply myself, so I can't get anything. I really wish there was a supply hub somewhere here. But if I can just take this, I can get rid of the rest of these forces, and then maybe we could try and push and take like Arkhangelsk or something. Again, super historical. And as I say that, I've taken the supply hub. Oh, that's fantastic. We're gonna have supply. This is basically what the line was for the majority of the war. The Finnish troops kind of surrounding and around Leningrad at the rivers and just holding. But I want to see if we can do better. It looks like Germany is starting to crush into the Soviets. They've lost, oh my god, 2.3 million casualties. Oh my god, they're doing even better than historically. Let's go. Can we take Leningrad? Can we help out? Let's try and help out with the siege. Oh, they haven't put forts in Leningrad, only coastal forts. Oh, you made a mistake, my bud. Oh yeah, we're crushing past the river. Let's go. The artillery in the divisions definitely does help. Oh, look at this. Weirdly, the USA is giving me convoys. Why? Why do you want to support me? I'm attacking the Soviets. Though, to be fair, America didn't really start lend-leasing the Soviets until 1942, so hey, they're just trying to be historical, right? The siege of Leningrad has been won on the 10th of December, 1941. They're supposed to add a whole bunch of forts, but the Soviet AI just didn't. Okay, thanks for letting me have Leningrad, nerd. That is very bad for them. As for what happened historically, Leningrad held the entire war and just resisted the siege until being relieved by the Soviet counterattacks. Well, Russia, I'm sorry, you're doing bad. To be fair, I have given them 328,000 casualties. I think the Soviets have officially begun running out of troops, having to put so many divisions in the southern line. There's just, oh my god, it's completely empty. I think the thing is we've done such a good job at keeping Soviet forces in the north, and the other problem, of course, is the Soviet AI tries to defend its entire border rather than retreating to the rivers. So I doing some serious work here. I think we need to make sure we do ambitions in the south so we can get claims on all the Estonian, Latvian, and Lithuanian states. Hell yeah. Do not tell me there's already D-Day happening. It's a Dieppe raid. Oh my god. Wait, no, this is the historical Dieppe raid just a bit early. Please, come on. The Germans actually have pretty good infantry, like genuine line infantry and anti-air and motorized infantry. I tell you, since got it down wrong, the Germans are way better at defending against D-Day. Though, of course, Cherbourg is completely empty. Oh god. Also, it's 1942. There weren't actually any divisional changes for the infantry division, but there were regimental and company changes, which is somewhat fun. The addition of a supplies platoon was added, and that's kind of about it, and like a little bit more mortars. But again, I have no more support companies to add, so let's just pretend that there's a Logi support company right there. And there goes Moscow. Oh my god. Soviet Union, we hardly knew ye. I really hate it how when you're conquering territory and then another country is at war with that same country, it randomly makes like little bits of borders on theirs. I don't want troops on the German front. We're chill. They're not gonna hurt me, I swear. We can also get in the March of Conquest to give us even more bonuses, and we can start a new Karelian uprising against the Soviet Union. Not super necessary because I've kind of pushed past those borders. Soviet Union just attacked Iran. This was absolutely the wrong time to do that, and my entire computer froze. I thought that meant they surrendered, but they didn't. Please don't crash. Come on, Romania. You can take Stalingrad. I believe in you. Oh, we finished March of Conquest. We have another D-Day, which has been successful. It appears to be Brazilian troops have landed in Rotterdam, but are being destroyed quickly. Looks like the war is coming to an end, so I'm gonna just very quickly click form a military government, though this did happen much later. This puts Karl G. Mannerheim as president of the country. Oh, yes. Everyone loved Mannerheim. We go from Ristoriti to Mannerheim. Look at that. It's kind of normal mustache, honestly. Not a ton of bonuses, but he is historical and cool. Oh my god. Italy, no. No, bro. What are you doing? Germany, help! Alright, you know what? It doesn't seem like Romania knows what they're doing. We're gonna fix this. 12 divisions. Go. Stalingrad will fall. Oh, that's still not enough? No way. I always forget, if you don't have collab governments, it just doesn't go quickly, does it? I need to give the Germans more guns. Please stop dying. They're actually starting to get pushed back by the Soviets here. I need you to stop. All right, Romania has finally done something good and taken all of Baku. Please just rush in and take over the rest. You can do it, boys. Ah, there's the Italian Civil War. That's going to cause some problems. Oh, and there's the historical D-Day. Oh my god, they are not ready. Thank goodness my game is frozen. Is January 43 and the Soviet Union has capitulated. That took an absolute age. I thought we would break their backs, but we had to fight all the way to the east of the Urals to have any chance. Oh man, but let's see what we can take, because this is all of our core states now, so we should be able to take quite a lot. And we even have claims here. And there it is, the glorious peace treaty of Moscow. We got a surprising amount of territory. For some reason, oh my god, they made an allied Russian empire. They forgot to take this. Germany, please. But look at that. That is a nice chunk of territory. What's even more interesting is that I'm not at war with the allies, remember. You don't actually join the faction. We're just not really allowed. So that's it. We win. The Finnish gameplay stops as soon as the Soviets are dead. We have managed to counter them and utterly dominate the Russians. Yes, Germany is getting destroyed through Italy right now because they're not really reinforcing the Italian Civil War, but they'll probably be able to bring their thousands of divisions down south. Japan is actually getting absolutely destroyed by China. It doesn't matter because Finland reigns supreme. Thank you very much for watching. Do be sure to leave me a like and a comment down below, suggesting a new video you'd like to see on the channel in the future. Special thanks to Ovca for making so much effort for historical research and other people on the Discord. And thank you to all the YouTube members and patrons who so wonderfully support this channel and whose names you shall see shortly. Bye-bye.